Talk about out of this world. India completes critical tests for Gaganyaan, a flight crewed by a humanoid robot later this year. Vyommitra will be the first humanoid robot in space. Talk about out of this world. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Focus, and thanks for joining. Okay, so India completes a critical test for its Gaganyaan flight crewed by a humanoid robot later this year. And she'll be the first one in space, technically. It's only half of a robot, but anyway, I'll save that for the thoughts and facts. Vyommitra will be the robotic astronaut aboard the first Gaganyaan test flight scheduled for later this year. India is steadily inching toward the first uncrewed flight in its human spaceflight program, Gaganyaan, Sanskrit for celestial vehicle. Early last week, the nation's space agency successfully completed the final tests to qualify the test flight's rocket engine, proving it to be capable of safely ferrying astronauts into space. This engine test was the seventh of its kind in which flight conditions were simulated to assess the device's endurance and performance under normal and abnormal conditions, including varying thrust and propellant tank pressure. Officials said in a statement on Wednesday, February 21st, these tests are being carried out at the ISRO, or the Indian Space Research Organization, Propulsion Complex, IPRC, in the southern state of Tamil Nadu. Since 2014, 7 years after the Gaganyaan program was first initiated, ISRO has been perfecting its homegrown flight hardware, including engines, solid rocket boosters, crew escape systems, and parachutes ahead of the uncrewed Gaganyaan 1 or G1 mission, tentatively scheduled for the third quarter of this year. This year's test flight will carry a humanoid robot, Vyommitra, Sanskrit for space friend, to help validate ISRO's technology before astronauts fly aboard next year. First unveiled by the space agency in 2020, Vyommitra is a legless robot equipped with the capability to converse, issue alerts, and monitor various parameters of the crew module. It is designed in such a manner so as to simulate human functions in the space environment and interact with the life support system. Jitendra Singh, the Minister of State for India's Ministry of Science and Technology, said in a statement released early this month. Singh reaffirmed that the agency's plan to launch 3 astronauts on a 7-day trip to low Earth orbit sometime next year, although exact dates have not been revealed. Apologies. Like I said, Earth is amazing. Robots have made waves in recent years, and this year it's even more amazing. And now we're going to be sending one to space, like I said. Thanks for tuning into another episode of Focus, and I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the thoughts and facts section. Take care. Okay, thanks for sticking around for the thoughts and facts section. And maybe you have, maybe you haven't heard about Vyommitra, but I'm gonna give you a little bit of background on it before I give you my take on it. Vyommitra, as you know from the Sanskrit Vyoma, space, and Mitra, meaning friend, is a female-looking spacefaring humanoid robot being developed by the Indian Space Research Organization to function on board the Gaganyaan, a crewed orbital spacecraft. Vyommitra was first unveiled on the 22nd of January in 2020 at the Human Spaceflight and Exploration Symposium in Bengaluru, formerly known or I think capital of Bangalore. It will accompany Indian astronauts in space missions and will also be a part of uncrewed experimental Gaganyaan missions prior to the crewed spaceflight missions. Objectives and abilities. ISRO aims not to fly animals on board experimental missions, unlike other nations that have carried out human spaceflight. Instead, it will fly humanoid robots for a better understanding of what weightlessness and radiation do to the human body during long durations in space. Vyommitra is expected to be on board the uncrewed Gaganyaan missions to perform microgravity experiments, monitor module parameters, and support astronauts in crewed missions by simulating functions exactly like a human. It is programmed to speak Hindi and English and perform multiple tasks. It can mimic human activity, recognize various humans, and respond to their queries. Technically, it can perform environment control and life support system functions, handle switch panel operations, and give environmental air pressure change warnings. Recently, it has been learned that the prototype models have finished trials and the engineering models are undergoing trials. So I don't know when they say engineering models if they specifically mean models that will repair the spacecraft, which would be really, really handy. And even if that's not the case, I'll give you my take on that soon. But where was I? Yes. The flight model to be used in the Gaganyaan G mission is also being built by the ISRO, which is the Indian Space Research Organization. Union Minister of State Jitendra Singh said the uncrewed Vyommitra mission is scheduled for the third quarter of this year, indicating the expected launch timeline, while the manned mission Gaganyaan is scheduled to be launched in 2025. The robot astronaut can monitor module parameters, issue alerts, and execute life support operations, the union minister said, adding it can also perform tasks such as operating 6 panels and responding to queries. It has been designed in such a manner to simulate human functions in the space environment and interact with the life support system. So I'm not going to bore you with too much facts, but let's see. Anything else I should probably tell you about Vyommitra? Not that I can see. So let's get into it. I'll be quick on this one. Let's think about this. Right now, the Indian Space Research Organization, or the ISRO, is using this simply to monitor, or I would say more accurately define, the effects of space on the human body without the human body. So without the detrimental effects, without astronauts suffering bone loss, bone mass, muscle loss, deficiency, depending on how much exercise they can get, their muscles might go through atrophy. Either way, there's multiple things that happen to an actual astronaut in space, and I haven't even gotten to the diet and the food and the obvious radiation. But using robots for these means, or to study those effects, is quite useful. I'm not going to deny that in any way. But what I foresee is something a little more, I don't know. I mean, I am not going to downplay this. Monitoring all those things by one person is no easy tasks. Providing constant updates on air pressure as well, which is vital in a spacecraft, once again, no easy task, depending on how quickly it is dropping, whether or not it can detect or predict the rate of loss. All of these things calculated by a robot in the time when you see it's happening will provide astronauts with vital seconds, if not minutes, to come up with a solution to their problem. But imagine it like this instead, because I'm not sure if the Vyommitra robot is going to be tied into, and when I say tied into, I don't know if it's going to be an entire part of the spacecraft's circuitry, computer, or whether or not it's going to be an independent standalone component. Now, the reason why I say it like this is because if it is down as an independent standalone component, meaning that the robot itself will have a standard placement somewhere that it can actually be fit in without moving, so it will appear as hardware, a part of the furniture, if for a better, lack of a better way to describe it. But let's say in case of a major failure, all right, oxygen systems down, electrical systems down, maneuvering, thrust propulsion, multiple things. The robot itself, being on a closed circuit on its own network, will be able to function independently. Maybe within the robot itself, it could probably have backup oxygen for the crew. Maybe it could have a few spare components for a few systems that might get blown out. Maybe the oxygen filtration system, maybe the communication system. Who knows? It could be used as a backup, fail-safe parts for the mostly. But that's just on that side of it. I'm thinking more along the lines of, let's say, during takeoff or landing. And when I say takeoff or landing, I don't mean a plane. I make it sound very, linear. It's not that simple. If it's a rocket launch or a landing, during those times, astronauts' bodies go through extreme G-force, enough to, depending on the astronaut's condition at the time, knock them out or cause serious damage. In those moments, it would be really useful to, let's say, have, once again, this standalone system, Vyommitra, be able to not only monitor systems, but manually take control of the spacecraft in those instances. And I don't mean just normally for landing and takeoff, although if they were set up like that, it would be handy and helpful, because astronauts during those times will find it and do find it extremely difficult to move around, although a robot with hydraulic components and very steady build wouldn't find it as hard to move around as we would in those extreme moments of gravity. So the robot would be able to maybe steady the ship, maybe angle it in a way to reduce how much G-forces are being emitted or produced by the craft, and how much is being obviously transferred onto the astronauts. Now, for launch, it might not be a case of just astronauts suffering from passing out during those times, and like I said, this Vyommitra or just any robot in that position could be set up in a way that it could automatically detect when the crew has been incapacitated, and in those moments it will assume command of the ship. So in those moments it will make sure, if anything, that the launch carries on according to plan, gets them into orbit or gets them into space, and at least maybe put them into a steady orbit, during which time the astronauts will have enough time to recover. Vice versa, in a more catastrophic way as far as I'm concerned, during re-entry, when, let's say, the main computer suffers some kind of glitch and it cannot plot a trajectory for re-entry accurately, even though the main computer is saying yes, everything is going according to plan, or maybe, let's say, on ground control side, everything is going according to plan, they've got green lights across the board, everything is going haywire on your side. It might be a fault on their side, it might be a fault on your side. Having this independent system which could possibly plot and how you call it, calculate all of these trajectories in that time would be able to manually take control and readjust the course. During that time when you see re-entry is happening, pilots or astronauts have maybe between a minute or 30 seconds of passing through the atmosphere, and depending on how fast they are going through it, anything between, I believe, 2,000 maybe, or 1,500, or maybe about 1,800 miles per hour is when re-entry starts to get pretty heated. And I'm talking about serious heat, which can disintegrate the spacecraft on re-entry. So during that time, during that critical time when G-forces emitted on the pilots once again are very extreme, the robot would be capable of initiating course correction or course changes in order to not just make sure the spaceship does not burn up in re-entry, but at least to make sure that it can survive long enough that, let's say there is hopefully, well, right now we haven't got one, but let's say by that time we would have maybe a secondary vessel or vehicles, escape pods on those re-entry vehicles to get them out. Yes, I know it's crazy, it sounds insane, but I'm sure you saw the man that fell to space. I'm not talking about the sci-fi program. There was a video of a man, I'm pretty sure he did it on YouTube. He got in a few helium balloons, floated as high as he could, and then he jumped. Longest skydive in the world. It's pretty interesting, you should check it out. But on that side of it, obviously, spacecraft during re-entry will be traveling pretty fast, much faster than he was or at the time, because he started from zero, and the spacecraft would be traveling in excess of 1,000 miles an hour. So exiting the craft during that time would be pretty tricky. Not saying it can't be done, depending on, like I said, the condition of the craft. And right now we've got all of these new crafts being developed. I mean, have you heard about the Dream Chaser, NASA's new space shuttle? I mean, it looks amazing. But like I said, Vyommitra right now could be pretty handy, not only for measuring and determining whether or not or how badly space truly affects us. Like I said, have you seen, I don't know, fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger? Have you seen, what's the name of the film? Total Recall? I'm not talking about the remake, I'm talking about the old school one. The taxi driver, the taxi car, the way that robot was positioned in the middle, at the controls, at the helm. Yes, it went psycho and it drove him all over the place and it went crazy, but you understand the imagery I'm trying to present to you. It's just seeing it from that point of view, it can be very, very ingenious. Like I said, maybe even life-saving. But once again, like I always say, Earth is amazing. Look at everything we're doing. People, places, animals, insects, even the fishes in the sea. Man, there's so much that's out there and so little we know. And robots have been making a splash, like I said, and right now they're gonna be making waves in space. The first robot in space. Vyommitra, I tip my hat to you. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Focus. Like I said, our history is pretty vast and we're making it pretty fast. And in the grand scale of it all, it's all subjective. I like to say I'll keep it brief, but you know, it's only a few minutes compared to decades and thousands of years of history. Thanks for sparing me a moment of your time once again, and take care. I hope you have a great day, and if you're not having one, You still got plenty of time to make it happen. Your time is your time. The future is yours to control. Let no one destroy your zen. Let no one destroy your peace. Take care. For links to the articles, check out the episode description. If you want to leave a comment, check out the trailer description for the email address. For topics like these and more, check out future episodes. Like I said, the world is an amazing place. There's a lot going on, and sometimes we just need to take a moment to focus.